Vote and follow along at NBC Sports AM 1060 with Bob Kemp's daily Twitter poll question. Then get to your radio from 10 to 1 for the Sports Zone with Bob Kemp for results and opinions.
It's a close game.
So apparently, Ray, nobody wants to go to the White House.
I see.
And the White House doesn't want anyone coming there either.
Nope.
So, now, you know, I'm the king of saying that I don't talk about politics and then talking about politics for 30 minutes. I'm a political conservative, so I am not a liberal, much to the chagrin of my friends and family. I lean right. I do lean right, and I unapologetically lean right. I will just say that what's going on with 45 is not what I'm leaning towards. That's not what I drew up when I put together my own personal political beliefs. I don't think that it's becoming of a president to have Twitter wars with players from sports teams. I just think it's beneath him. It's not even about policy or Kim Jong-un or the G7 or any of that stuff. I leave the politics people to really break down that stuff. But both LeBron and Steph Curry had made some comments about not wanting to go to the White House if they when one of those teams won the NBA championship. Mm-hmm. The Eagles, my Philadelphia Eagles, shout out to everyone listening in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, our original home. All the people that followed us are from WTEL 610 Sports. Malcolm Jenkins, my guy from The Ohio State University, had already been talking about, the Eagles not interested in going. The president decided to do damage control and just say, well, your invitation is revoked.
Right.
So you're not invited to come to the White House. I felt that it was kind of petulant. I feel that it's beneath the leader of the free world. Whether you like 45 or not, he's leader of the free world. You might think that he's a sideshow and a clown, but his finger is on the button. He's the leader of the free world. I just think for someone of his importance and gravitas internationally, it's below him. So now you have players responding and going back and forth. There was a despicable, and even though I'm a conservative, I don't like the news. I don't like CNN. I don't like MSNBC. I don't like Fox News. I'm intelligent enough, Ray, and well-read enough that if you tell me what happened, I can discern for myself. You don't need to give me the news with your own personal slant.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell me what the news is. You don't need to manufacture news for me. So Fox posted this reprehensible picture of Philadelphia Eagles kneeling before the national anthem. A reprehensible picture of the Eagles kneeling. Comes to find out that was a picture of them praying after the national anthem before the game, which I thought was interesting because as the guys were kneeling, people were walking around. It's not, if you look in the background, it's not like people are standing up with their hands over their hearts.
Right.
Fox ran that ad in one of their morning shows as Philadelphia Eagles players disrespect the flag by kneeling. The fact is that no one on the Super Bowl championship Philadelphia Eagles kneeled during the national anthem at all last season. Not a single player, not a single game.
Wow.
But Fox ran that ad. They took someone who was praying, which is a part of Christian conservative values to pray before a game. They took that and ran it as a player that was kneeling, disrespecting the flag. And that's the type of shenanigans that we have to deal with. 45 is he's going. It's just a very weird strategy. His obsession with sports. He pardoned Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson, the late great Jack Johnson, one of the best heavyweight fighters ever, who was convicted back in the Jim Crow racism era of an interracial marriage, and he went to jail over that, things stemming from that. He's pardoned posthumously. Trump wants to pardon Muhammad Ali for the time that he was stripped of his title for not participating in the Vietnam War and the draft. These are just very weird strategic things, in my opinion. And then before we go to the phones, you called me a couple of days ago and you said, "Are you looking at the news?"
Yeah.
And much to my chagrin, I turn the news on and you see an individual here at home, here in Mesa, Arizona. You see a policeman who was responding to a domestic violence call. This policeman is like my size. This is a huge guy. This is a huge, hulking, intimidating presence, beating up a guy that had to be about 5'8", 150 pounds, like a small guy, punching him in the face repeatedly.
Yes.
The guy wasn't armed. There were cops coming up the elevator. This guy was right at the elevator, about to get on the elevator. He was surrounded by 4 or 5 policemen, and the elevator doors opened, and 2 more popped out.
Yeah.
6 people to detain a citizen. One unarmed person. And that's why the players are kneeling. It's not...
Yeah.
It's not because of, people get into, they want to go the other way and say, well, the liberal side, they're kneeling over these other things, and it's disrespect for the country, and these people are ungrateful, and they should go somewhere else because you can't make millions of dollars playing football anywhere else but America. They just don't want to see people that are regular people get their tail kicked by 7 cops because of a domestic violence call when they're unarmed.
And it wasn't even him. Like, it wasn't
Right.
It wasn't even him.
Right. You're just minding your business.
Yeah.
Somebody thinks that you're involved in
Right.
something. Next thing you know, you have 7 cops stomping you out. Doesn't matter if you're a red state, blue state, who you are registered to vote for. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.